Hello, everyone. This is Jay Dobbins, your host of the Marvel DC Universe Fan Club. We are now at episode 228, and I'll be discussing five things Marvel needs for its Fantastic Four movie more than John Krasinski. Sorry. But yeah, news broke recently that actor John Krasinski is still interested in playing Mr. Fantastic in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and the internet lost his mind. Honestly, I could pretty much see him playing Mr. Fantastic for some reason, and I think he'll be a perfect role. I think he'll be perfect for the role alongside Emily Blunt as the Invisible Woman, and I can't remember the actor's name, but he played Fanuc in the Hunger Games, who got killed off, unfortunately. But yeah, I could see him as playing Johnny Storm. And as far as the Thing, I don't know who could pull off that role. You know, maybe Seth Rogen, maybe, I don't know, but don't know who played Ben Grimm, but the guy that played Fanuc in Hunger Games. Hopefully, I pronounced the character's name right, Fanuc. But yeah, that actor who played in that role in the Hunger Games, I could see him as Johnny Storm's Human Torch. Either him or Zac Efron, but mainly the other guy, not Zac Efron now, but maybe Zac Efron, but the other guy, mainly him. But anyway, so for good reason, as Krasinski has long been fan cast in the role and is akin to Patrick Stewart landing the role of Charles Xavier. So, of course, as cool as this casting would be, fans need to come back to reality and remember that this next Fantastic Four movie needs more than Krasinski to succeed. So, not that many don't already know that, but it's always great to remind everyone who will listen that bad casting wasn't the root problem for the past. They weren't the root problem of the past Fantastic Four movies. There are many things I think. There are many things I think this franchise needs to have a successful run in the MCU, and quite frankly, uh, John Krasinski's involvement is near the bottom of the list. But here are the more important things that need to be considered for the superhero team's next movie. Skip the origin story. We already know the origin story. If you're going to do an origin story, at least do a slight flashback of how they gain their powers. That'll be fine. Just have a flashback of them going up on a spaceship, and then bam, you know, they go into space, they run into cosmic rays, give them powers and stuff like that. If you're gonna do an origin story, make it very short. Don't have it take up almost half of the film, like it did in the past Fantastic Four films. So yeah, if you if you do an origin story, make it very short. Have them go up into space, they get in the cosmic rays. Use that as a flashback or something. I don't know, but that'll be perfect. But yeah, but besides the fact that we've seen how the Fantastic Four was created a couple of times on screen already, it's worth nothing. It's worth noting the story itself is honestly dull in comparison to other origins. There's a space accident, of course, and then everyone slowly realizes they have superpowers. There's no fighting the Axis, murder of parents, destruction of planets, or even outcasts taken in by a telepathic professor. They all receive great power, but right off the bat comprehend that the responsibility that comes with it. sorry, the great responsibility that comes with it. But back in the day when superheroes were, novel, the Fantastic Four's origin story was entertaining. By today's stand, by today's standards, it's old hat. If a new Fantastic Four movie must spin, you know, up the same, old tale, just recap it at the beginning, you know, just recap it at the beginning in a couple of minutes. So that would be a good way to, doing the origin. But personally, I prefer the team get introduced via another movie, like what was done with Spider-Man, and then the movie just gets into the thick of things similar to Spider-Man: Homecoming. Anything but, an entire story based on their origins is fine. Save Doc, and of course, that's one. Two, save Doctor Doom for a major MCU movie. Doctor Doom is without a doubt one of Marvel's greatest villains. This doubt makes him the biggest bad for the Fantastic Four. Though I think the franchise would be best not to shoot its shot with a major villain so early. Give him a mention, a scene or two, but put him in a position where there's no need for an immediate confrontation just yet. So simply put, Doctor Doom is too versatile a villain to be used and set aside, for just one movie. He could play the Loki role for the next generation of Marvel villains and really open up the MCU with Latveria. So I definitely want to see Doom involved with the Fantastic Four in some way, but I don't believe he has the primary. I don't believe he has to be the primary threat. You know, so there are other great villains this franchise has, and ones that could help audience ease into what the Fantastic Four can do and is really capable of. Three, don't be afraid to get weird with it. In regards to the MCU, the Fantastic Four is late to the game. It's going to be hard for this superhero franchise to show the world something it hasn't already seen, and to give these heroes a unique identity compared to everything else out there. So, but my solution is to not be afraid to get weird with it. Because there's a lot about this franchise that is pretty unique compared to other franchises. The core team doesn't have to be weird, but if they're up against someone like Puppet Master or fighting a nihilist in the negative zone, things are going to get weird. So this is kind of fun. Fantastic Four is capable of getting, this is the kind of fun Fantastic Four is capable of getting into. And the type of fun that is, that it should be, having. So, but the truth is, these heroes aren't the strongest, most cunning, or funniest in the Marvel mythos. So they need some gimmick to get people hooked, get weird. So that helps. That's three. The fourth one will be a willingness to tell a story that isn't about centered on Sue and Reed. So, trying to think, the Richards are one of Marvel's ultimate power couples, but a strong marriage between a stretchy guy and invisible woman isn't really the highlight of this team. There's a death-defying and sometimes reckless Johnny Storm who can literally burst into flames, and Ben Grimm, who is essentially the Elephant Man of the Marvel Universe. The latter, uh, the latter, sorry, the latter two should be who a story follows. So, in fact, I think that there are a few things more powerful in the Marvel universe than the story of Ben Grimm becoming radically changed, in a grotesque way, and being so disconnected from humanity that his nickname becomes Thing. So there's a horrific sadness to a tale like that, but I believe we're in an era where Marvel could explore that isolation and tell a real powerful story about it. To me, Fantastic Four was always at its best when Thing was at the forefront. So 100% approve a story driven by him at some point in the franchise's run. Um, so the fifth one would be go to space for more reasons than obtaining powers. If your only experience with Fantastic Four has come from movies, then it wouldn't be crazy to assume this team went to space once and then tapped out. The truth of the matter is the Fantastic Four has been to space a good deal. They've battled aliens, explored the galaxy, and had a great time doing so. Trust me, I know. I've read the comic books. Hell, I even got the graphic novels. But anyway, the MCU is slowly but surely going to get more cosmic. And when that time comes, the Fantastic Four will be the perfect candidates to get in on the action. So they probably won't be, a tremendous help to the likes of Captain Marvel, but everyone always has a part to play in an ensemble adventure. So, and plus, Lee Richards is a genius, and there's never really a situation where having one on hand is a bad thing. But the key will be finding the sweet spot for these guys. So, i.e., effective ways for them to contribute to adventures without feeling redundant. It could be done. It'll just take a little work. So, that concludes this topic. Feel free to visit us on Facebook. We're available on iTunes, the Google Play Music app, Spotify, and of course, YouTube.